Hey everybody out there, this is Dirty D with your Pro Sports Podcast. Um, as you'll probably be able to tell, technology has bested me once again. I was trying to live stream my reaction to some Korean League baseball, uh, which I must say I am very much so impressed with the overall execution. I mean, you crack on the TV and you expect to see some pros, but you don't expect to see the level of competition that I'm seeing. But I guess it might just because I'm sports starved, or we all are. But I was watching the UFC, and that is very strange without a crowd. Um, Watching this Korean League baseball, Uh, I wasn't able to live stream my reaction because I suck at technology, but what it did help me do was it did help me bring up an interesting topic, our topic of subject of conversation here, folks. So what I want to know from people out there that are watching is, I'm watching the Korean League baseball. I'm realizing that this just looks like any other day game. It happens to be in Korea, South Korea, uh, and it just happens to look like any other day game. I've watched day games um, for years, and a mid-July game when the Rockies are out of contention. Um, Looks a lot like what this stadium looks like in South Korea right now. It's pretty bare. Um, and I'm not saying that Rocky fans aren't very faithful and loyal. I actually don't consider myself a Rocky fan because I don't like the team. I don't like what they do. I don't like their front office. I don't like them as a franchise. More importantly, I'm not. I played baseball. I enjoy it as a sport. To be played and to be enjoyed. But as far as watching it, I think it's um, pretty far back as far as like regular season sports on my list to watch. And you know, um, I think more to the point right now, what it shows you is how deprived we are as far as sports. But again, back to I mean, to try to stay on topic here, folks. My question to any of you guys and to every one of you guys is watching this Korean League baseball, it makes me realize that there isn't a whole lot of a need for fans to crowd stands in baseball games. Um, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I honestly do think, and my brother and I had this conversation that baseball is one sport that has absolutely no impact on it whatsoever from the standpoint of a crowd. And like I said, I played baseball not at the level that these guys are playing, but I did play baseball. And when you are in the heat of a moment, you don't hear a crowd, or at least I didn't. I was more focused in on trying to get whatever task I had to get done. Um, but at the end of the day, like I said, from watching what I'm watching, I'm seeing that a crowd isn't going to dictate anything that happens as far as the action is concerned in this in a baseball game. And I think that's not only the case here in South Korea, but I also think that it's the case just in general for baseball. I think it's just one of those sports that doesn't need it. And I've been hearing that the NFL is planning on pumping in artificial crowd noise um, during the regular season this year. And wow, another great play, guys. Um, that was another great play. They're planning on pumping in artificial crowd noise, but I don't think that it's necessary. I think again, it's one of these things where I'm watching these guys just come out and execute just for the sheer execution, for the competitiveness that is sports, the beauty that is the competition to come out and compete. I don't. I thought it's gonna be so weird when the Warriors started talking about playing in front of empty stadiums, and the more I'm watching it, the less weird it is. And again, guys, am I just sports deprived? Am I just that hungry for sports right now that I'm watching Korean League baseball? And for one, I mean, if anybody's watching this game, please jump in the comments and let me know what you guys think of the defense that the teams are showing here. Sorry, that the teams are showing here, and the effort and the execution. And I'm not a fan of the Korean League strike zone, but I am a fan of the execution. The KBO is what I'm watching. The Twins versus the LG Twins versus the Kiwom. Uh, I don't know what they are. But like I said, I'm just I know I'm deprived of sports. I know this at that point. I know that's the case right at this point. But again, it is professional sports, and I'm watching guys turn two, and I mean clockwork, guys, clockwork. It's nice to see it again. Um, but baseball for sure. Like I said, nothing is changing. This looks like your everyday dog days of summer kind of day game, where the crowds are real light and people are working, and it's a Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Not a lot of people are going to be in the stadium, um, and I've seen those games in live action in real life, and now that I'm watching this game that's got the stadium completely empty, it's it's making me realize, you know. Um, that maybe the crowd and all that stuff is kind of overrated. Maybe the Mile High Air is the only advantage that teams in Denver have. Maybe Bronco Country is a great fan base, a boisterous fan base, and a passionate and fervorous fan base. But maybe we can be all that at home, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you guys agree. Maybe you disagree. But what I'd like to know is what you guys think. Because at the end of the day, guys, I think from this point on, I'm saving a whole lot of money and I'm staying at home. Um, Not that I had a whole lot of money to be throwing on the kind of stuff anyway, but if I did, I think from this point on, it might kind of. I think I kind of might not be as willing to spend as I was before, especially watching you know, watching what I'm watching, guys. It's like I said, it's not I mean, being at home and having the setup that people have nowadays at home, um, the stadium is not the destination it used to be. Um, the comforts of home have caught up to the stadium. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, guys. So change my mind, change my opinion. And please, by all means, if you're watching this game, let me know what you guys thought of that freaking uh, play that the announcer said I mean, it's gonna end up being a web gem. Like that should be a web gem on the MLB network or whatever. But I mean that should have straight up been a web gem. And the announcer said that she thought it was an error. And is that a hit or an error? How do you score that? I'm like, for one, you got to score that a hit if it is a hit, which I knew it. I mean, you could. They didn't show it in real time, and it wasn't as clear as day in real time. But it was. It was pretty clear on the first replay that he was out, off of a great tag from the first baseman. But still, uh, guys, if you saw that, please comment. Let me know. I'd like to talk about that play because what a freaking play! What a web gem! What a stellar uh, job of getting into the hole from the shortstop. Stellar job of making a throw off balance, and an even better job of bringing the throw in and up, raising up off his feet, bringing the throw in and bringing it down. in one motion and making a tag at the same time was a beautiful play by the first baseman. So I think it was a web gem by the shortstop, and I think it was an even better web gem by the first baseman, guys. If you're watching, please, I'd love to hear from you guys and hear what you guys think as far as what that play. Who had the better play? The shortstop to get there and make the throw, or the first baseman to get up, catch the ball, and come down and make the tag all in one motion? I honestly, I mean, like I said, that I don't know if it's just me that I'm that sports depraved, but I don't think that's the case, guys. I think that was a great play, and I think that ultimately, guys, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're interested in the platform, I'd love to hear. And I'd love to have you guys subscribe and drop the trifecta. Subscribe, comment, and like. Thank you guys as always. And I appreciate everyone who's watching.